Hi, my name's Jillian McLaughlin, and I'm here to discuss the media's impact on women's representation in politics. Women are vastly misrepresented in many areas of popular culture. This includes film, television, and even music and music videos. And I know this seems unrelated, but the notion that women exist to be objectified carries over into the world of the political media as well. Because many media outlets are male-dominated in terms of employees and leadership, the agendas they cover are often male-dominated as well. These agendas show themselves in the form of sexist and vulgar comments about candidates, misrepresentation of their traits and stances on issues, or exclusion of females in journalism leadership entirely. Linda Lowen wrote an article that certainly speaks to these issues about a congressional candidate named Sam Bennett from Allentown, Pennsylvania. She began her career as a widely respected member of her local government. She started off as the president of the PTA locally, and she was the mayor of Allentown at one point. And when she made her run for Congress in 2008, she was met with repugnant remarks by her opponent's chief of staff. He disrespected and objectified her, and the local newspaper kind of fed off this, and they plastered his quotes all over the front page with large pictures of her face next to him. This kind of hurt her really bad in her campaign, and she ultimately lost her election. But then she actually went on to become the CEO of the Women's Campaign Forum Foundation, which focuses strongly on media accountability. This is just one of the many examples that undermines women's ambitions to run for office. There are many stories of more prominent female candidates like Hillary Clinton and Sarah Palin being torn apart for their appearances or their personal lives. Palin was often criticized for being a bad mom, and even their children were subject to ridicule. Female candidates and politicians of all kinds, from all countries all over the world, have been subjected to disgusting remarks, but they are also faced with the challenges that come with being covered by disproportionate media. As data from Fritkin and Kenny suggests, there are fewer female reporters than there are male reporters. And of these female reporters, the majority of them are not likely to cover political news, but rather softer fluff pieces like human interest pieces. Women only hold 20% of news director positions. So as a result of this lack of equality, female candidates are not mentioned as much in headlines as men are. They are not quoted as much as men, and they are not used as expert sources as much. Fritkin and Kenny describe how the media does not mirror the preferred messages that female politicians may utilize in their press briefings or conferences. There can be several changes made to the way that journalism is taught, which could change everything for female candidates. One way media could solve these problems is to simply add female perspectives to their reporting, hire more women for leadership positions, and hire more women reporters to tackle hard-hitting political pieces. They will be more likely to cover other women candidates in a positive light. Another possible solution to this misrepresentation would be to teach members of the media to stand up for what is right and to call out injustices when they see them, just like the Prime Minister of Australia did when she made her famous sexism and misogyny speech, which was accepted very widely around the world by the press. If the media itself draws attention to its own issues, they could eventually be resolved. If I were a campaign manager for a female candidate, I would suggest that she do her best to ignore any sexist attacks, as hard as it might be, and hold her head up high. I feel it is best to avoid stooping to the level of your opponent and mudslinging right along with them. To quote Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. Secondly, I would urge her not to worry about the double binds and try to be herself and focus on her strongest traits and capitalize off of those. Not try to fit into a box she'll never fit into just to make the media and the public happy. I would want her to be true to herself and authentic. Also, being known as the change candidate can certainly be beneficial to any campaign. Lastly, I would encourage her to get involved in the feminist movement, attend rallies, and meet with women constituents and discuss any concerns that they might have, and just get involved. Female politicians need not grow complacent and let the media win. Together we can change the game and finally shatter that last glass ceiling.